Good morning, everybody, and this is your SP 500 setups for today. So, big question is, do we have a lower high? So that was a massive pin bar. There was a nice half-decent rally before the sellers stepped in, and I haven't even paid attention to what noise came out of the Feds. Probably would be wise to do that, but anyway, for me at the moment, the question I have is lower high at the moment. Is that a flat bottom triangle that's forming? Obviously, if we take out these lows to the downside, and it is quite a big zone, you can see it's basically off 50-50. So if we take out 50-50, inverse cup and handle, head and shoulders, multiple topping patterns there, but moral of the story is we need to take out 50-50 before we even consider that as a potential move to the downside. The interesting thing here is that would be roughly the target, and if you look left, there's nothing really in the space apart for this little cluster. You can see this flat top triangle that happened. When was that? That's the last week of January. Sorry, first week of February, where we had this flat top triangle. We did come back and test it once, twice, so that looks like that would be the measured move. So let's just get down to levels we're looking for. Oscillators, sorry, they've separated and they're kind of rolling, so this could be big move up, big move down, and then this could be the start of the move, but we did end with a bit of a range bar going at the close, and then this morning we're kind of drifting lower. So inside bar, tweezer top, well, not quite a tweezer top, but you get what I'm referring to. It does look like a bit of a topping pattern. There was a pin bar here, so again pin bars come into play, and that is exactly where we rejected. So 5127. But this is just confusion, these two bars, to be honest. That's 2 3-hour bars, pretty much the same, one green, one red. Long tails to the downside, shortish tails to the upside. You could read into it multiple things. You could read into it buyers are trying to take control. You could read into sellers are rejecting that level. For me, I think it's wise just to wait, because that was based on noise, so you don't actually know what the situation is. And we do have quite a bit of support to the left here, so nothing's really changed. It's just the volatility has increased dramatically. So from the move on Monday, sorry, Tuesday, not Monday. So, from this little buying frenzy going into close on Monday, we drifted higher, then we sort of hit a plateau, and something, I think it was either news or something, but we sort of dropped, and then we had another rally up, and you can see the rejection there, fairly decent rejection, nice juicy pin bar off the previous low, 5127, and then we got going. So this could be move down, pull back, second move, which then also implies that this was the move down, move up, second move. A lot of the ABC patterns as people refer them to, but the simplicity of it is there's always a second attempt. So this was the first attempt at a downward move. This was the pullback, and V reversals are rare, we know that. So now what we're looking for is either support for a higher low, to have another attempt at this 5127 to break through. That would basically set up an inverse cup and handle. Okay, so extremely volatile. Oscillators have now sort of moseyed on to the downside again and have separated as well. So we're in amongst the moving averages, above and below the moving averages. So we know what that means. That's just confusion. There's a lot more data coming out this week, as well as is the start of the month. So just pay attention to that. And then on the 15-minute, we have a head and shoulders which has broken. So this is typically what I would refer to as the neckline. And what I put that in as a zone, just because you need this tail and you need those tails. But we've broken through it. We did try to find support on it this morning, but we've dropped below that. Oscillators group to the downside, below all the moving averages. So yeah, if we are going to fall more today, 5100 is the line in the sand, and that's clearly the line in the sand that we're trying to defend. So we defended it twice yesterday, but then we've sort of gapped down and run a little bit to the downside already. Now, if you look at this from a daily perspective, you've got a green inside bar with a large tail, but if you look at where the red body is at the moment, it's kind of all over the place. Now, looking at the daily, we do have diversions here, that bearish diversions, and with all these levels that I've drawn in, you can see tempting to form some kind of a top or get a base. I'm still not entirely convinced that I want to be buying long term at this level. So I'd much prefer buying to the, a bit lower down. But we do have a strong level of support and diagonal support here, so it's a strong channel that we've been running in. So it would take quite a bit of effort to drop to the downside. So that's what you need to just keep it in the back of your mind. So essentially what you're doing on the 15 minutes is you're getting in and getting out as quick as possible. You're not trying to hold on for the bigger trade. So if you can get a 1-to-1 return, risk 1, return 1, you're doing pretty well. Okay, so head and shoulders is a very valid setup to the downside. I'm not so sure that I'd want to be buying long at all, to be honest. And just a summary of that thought process is we have strong move down, we have a big inside bar with continuation. Granted, there's lots of tails here going into the close, and the aftermarket bar is the one that is the follow-through bar at the moment. We do have support here, so that would upset the apple cart, but we've sort of broken below the moving averages here. If we look at the hour, we kind of back below the 150 EMA, and you can see this was a double attempt at the 150 EMA here at 50.95 or 5100, and that is clearly an area we need to be paying attention to. And I just want to see if there's something a little bit higher. I suppose the only next level higher would be this one. That's 5100 dead, 5102. So if we just apply some decent logic here, 5100 has not really been tested properly. We've broken below it, we've closed bars below it, and we haven't really tested it. So any move into this area here this morning at 5102 would be the upper end of it, and I would just look for 5100.8. That's good enough. So you can see we've attempted to reject it this morning. That's a zone I'd be paying attention to. So long as we don't get above 5112, if we get above 5112, then you're probably looking to retarget 5127. But if we come back into this little zone of 5100 and reject here with a decent bit of structure, I'd definitely be looking to take that short and looking to test 5079. And the interesting setup at the moment is on pretty much all the higher time frames, including the weekly. I see the chaos on the weekly, but if I just delete the chaos, you'll see it becomes as clear as mud. We have what is looking like a topping pattern there, and we also have the oscillators grouped to the upside. So, you know, long-term buying to me is not really the option at the moment. So I definitely don't want to get stuck into buying at the moment. But at the same time, I'm very wary because we are in a very strong uptrend. So that's the logic behind it. But 15-minute, this is looking like a decent, half decent head and shoulders. I would look at 5100 and definitely. So I just want to get this measured move back in. But I deleted that. And let's just check on the hour where that measured. Yep, look at that. It lines up with previous support. But what I'm going to do is, just so that we're not ambushed, pick up. There's a pin bar, very important. And then that's the actual level. So you can see we tested it before. So what I'd be looking for is a retest of 5100. I want a decent rejection. So I want to see a pin bar, something like that, or inside bar or engulfing bar. I just want to see some decent structure that's indicating that the sellers are coming in. And then what we're looking for is a continuation down. First target where I would take some off the table would be 50.80, and then ultimate target would be 50.65, 50.50, 50.59, 50.60 would be my ultimate target, basically. Converse to the upside, I'd obviously want to be above 5100, move up, reject it, and start climbing. So I want pin bars, engulfing bars, or pin bar, inside bars here, and then I'd be looking at a move up into around about 5120. What I would do is just put your hourly levels in. Sorry, there's a massive pin bar here that you need to adhere to. So that's right at the gap. So that would be another rejection area as well. That's 5106. And then you put your targets in. That would be the first one. And then 52.7 would be, by the looks of things, is going to be another target. But anyway, that's kind of my setup at the moment. And if you look at what's happening now, you're probably looking for a move to the upside. But 15-minute is what you want. Wait for the market open and watch this 5100 and watch the gap. If the gap closes and we come back and we build a base on 5100, then this head and shoulders is probably going to disappear. If you get above 51.13, then the head and shoulders is definitely gone. So that's kind of my outlook this morning. You can go either way, but there's setups for both directions. So I'll just pay very close attention to 5100. Hope that helps, and we will catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.